There's a battle going on in the streets, and I've stayed quiet about it for way too long. Skibidi Toilet is a series about guys that are coming out of toilets fighting against guys that have cameras for heads and speakers for heads and TVs for heads. It's crazy. We're going to talk about it today, and I'm going to talk about a couple of theories that I've got about it, as well as, you know, just kind of my own thoughts on the series, okay? All right, thank you. It's been a minute. This was supposed to be a quick video that I was just going to crank out, but then I had to go remember the Alamo. I apologize for the wait. Also, I didn't notice until just a minute ago this mic wasn't working, so I had to use a camera mic. I really apologize. The series starts with toilets, much like this one here, except instead of a glittery shit, what you get inside is a face that's laughing and singing and attacking you. It sings this song. Skibidi bub dub dub, yes yes, skibidi gobble it me me. Then it lunges at your face. The majority of the episodes end like that, with the face lunging at yours and the cameraman essentially dying. In this war, there are many soldiers of many classes. The whole series starts with the Skibidi Toilet. It's a toilet with a face, a very rubbery neck, exaggerated expressions, sings a song. Fantastic. There are a few variations of this toilet that are introduced before you ever get to the opposition. So you've got the giant toilets, you've got mini toilets, you've got old toilets, and then you've got flying toilets that sing the Imperial March from Star Wars that probably aren't part of the canon because this episode is not in any of the seasons. It's not in any of the complete seasons, parentheses, all episodes videos. Every war's got to have at least two sides, and in this one, the opposite of the Skibidi Toilets are the cameramen. You've got dudes in suits and sometimes ladies in suits, and instead of a head, they've got a camera. So far in this war, you've got two sides. You've got the side of the toilets and the side of the camera people. Literally, you've got toilets with heads and then cameras with bodies. It's beautiful. It's everything you want to see. On the Skibidi Toilet side, you've got a few different variations already. You've got the big ones, the little ones, the regular ones. You've got some old ones, armored jetpack version G Toilet, which is G-Man's head on a toilet. He shoots laser beams, that's pretty cool. And you've got a few others that are coming up. Now on the camera side, you've got regular cameras with bodies. At least one cameraman loves Fortnite dancing. You can see him doing this throughout the series. One of them wields plungers, which is nice. Some of them are giant. There's a very large Titan cameraman that plays a very important part of this story. We're gonna put him right here. Now the cool thing about the cameraman's side is they have allies, unlike the toilets. So the cameramen, they also have speakermen that are their allies. And the speakermen have flying like helicopter speakers that exist. There are a couple different sizes of speakerman, if I remember correctly, and then there's the Titan speakerman as well. He's up there with the Titan cameraman. And then you've also got TV people. You've got TV men with their little TV heads. You've got TV woman. I think she is the only TV woman, perhaps. It's hard to tell. Her head detaches and has some pretty special powers to it. And then you've got the Titan TV man. Story starts and the person recording is entering what looks like a bathroom, approaching what looks like a toilet. And a head comes out, sings a song, and attacks. That's patient zero here. It only gets worse from there. Episodes depicting an invasion occur, giant toilets crushing regular people. There's people sitting on toilets eating feces and then turning into these Skibidi Toilets as other Skibidi Toilets invade and attack the camera. It gets wild. And then from there we get the first sign of opposition. There's a couple of toilets worshiping the shrine of Patient Zero, the original Skibidi Toilet. Turns out these toilets can be flushed. Who would have thought? And so the cameraman dispatches these two toilets with haste by flushing them and quickly gets surrounded by cop toilets. So there's some kind of authority going on here with these Skibidi Toilets. They've fully taken over. They've established religion. They've got clubs with Skibidi DJs. It is crazy. But the camera people soon take over. There's a resistance going. They invade the churches. They take over the DJs, I suppose. And with the help of their Titan cameraman, they launch an assault. And they fully start to wage war upon the Skibidi toilets. See, as I mentioned before, G-Man Toilet's got laser vision, okay? And that's some powerful stuff. He shoots laser beams from his eyes to kill people. All right, that can break a camera. I don't know if you know that. Super high-powered laser beams and explosions, not great for recording equipment. So in order to combat this, the camera people, I guess, build the Titan cameraman. It's not entirely clear where he came from, but I assume that's the case. And this helps to tip the scales into the favor of the camera people. It's kind of neck and neck here. They're pretty even. And then something happens. You see, the Titan cameraman has a weak spot in the center of his chest. G-Man Toilet naturally decides he's gonna blast that with his lasers. Now, Titan cameraman, he says, hey, no problem, I've got a shield. So he blocks the shield, and it looks like it's kind of over for G-Toilet already. Coming in clutch, there is an armored jetpack rocket mounted toilet guy who rams into the shield, kamikazes himself into the shield and destroys it. So G-Toilet, he's got a clear shot now. He's aiming at the center of mass on this cameraman, and he is not missing. He is just destroying it. This isn't good. This is bad news for Titan cameraman. That's his weak spot. He has to get out of there. So he retreats, and the person recording this video is absolutely wrecked by G-Toilet. Unfortunate. Here's the thing, this is kind of an upset, because up until this point, Titan cameraman, he was the ace in the hole. He was getting applause, he was just destroying toilets, flinging them left and right. He was really disrupting this battle. Cameramen were watching him as entertainment. They were going just to watch him fight while eating raw spaghetti noodles. Up until the introduction of Titan cameraman, this battle was rife with trickery and traps, baba booey, with subterfuge, with espionage and sedition. It was rife with reconnaissance missions and a lot of carnage. So the fact that Titan cameraman has now fled and presumably needs repair, that's bad news for the rest of the cameramen. You see, once Titan cameraman is out of the picture, the cameramen are at a loss. They capture a Skibidi Toilet and interrogate him. And although it seems like these guys get what they want, the toilet makes entirely too much noise and they flush him, but only when it's too late. And they subsequently get destroyed by G-Toilet himself. They get blown up. They get blown up by his laser vision. Unfortunately, you play stupid games and you win stupid prizes. They didn't soundproof the room first. Everybody knows you interrogate in a soundproof room. That's rule number 1. What are you guys thinking? Your security cameras, for Christ's sake. Get your head out of your ass. Get your camera out of your ass. I wonder if there's like an endoscope. I wonder if there's an endoscope cameraman. That would be pretty cool. At this point, the Titan cameraman, he's gone. He's out of the picture for now. So G-Toilet is leading an assault and it's completely uncontested. And even though they managed to flush him, he can resist. So there's pretty much no hope at this point. Until we get this scene of our cameraman that we're seeing his first person point of view, and we get saved from a freaking Hydra looking Skibidi Toilet guy, and we're saved by a man with a speaker on his head. It's the first appearance of the speakermen. Now what's funny about this is the speakermen are actually playing a song. They're playing a song called Everybody Wants to Rule the World from Tears for Fears. You've heard it for sure if you watched any movie in the last 30 years. You've heard it. It's from the 80s. It's a mega hit. They were one hit wonder for the most part. And the funny thing about it is this is a series that shows a power struggle between two separate powers trying to presumably rule the world. So the song, Everybody Wants to Rule the World, if anything, it's a little more sinister than the Skibidi Bop, yes, yes, yes song. Personally, I think it would be really cool if they were doing like Jupiter or something from Earth, Wind & Fire. At least one time, I'd love to see these cameramen and speakermen just fucking shake some ass. You know what I'm talking about? You know, just for one episode. Just make him bust some ass, dude. Bust some ass. You know what I'm talking about. Anyway, so they employ their helicopter speakers I mentioned before. The cameramen have earmuffs to render themselves invulnerable, not invulnerable, to protect themselves from the high frequencies and the sheer volume of these speakers. It's insane how loud they get, and they can single-handedly just destroy these Skibidi toilets. It's amazing. And then we get another Titan as Titan Speakerman. Now, Titan Speakerman is an absolute force to be reckoned with. He's constantly playing Everybody Wants to Rule the World at all times, which is great. Should be Jupiter though. This guy, he could shoot blasts out of his arm. He's got speakers. He can fight whatever. There's a covert op that goes kind of wrong, and he saves the day by just ripping the roof off the place and blasting the toilets. It's amazing. And at this point in the story, it seems like the cameramen and the speakermen, for that matter, have it on lock. There is no way that they could possibly lose, but there's a bit of an upset. You know, I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but these Skibidi toilets, they've got something up their sleeve. They've been working on it for a long time, and they're finally ready to roll it out for beta testing. They've got a couple of captive cameramen, okay? And the scientist Skibidi Toilet, he's really working on something special. He cooked up a little parasite toilet that controls the mind of cameramen, and potentially speakermen and whoever other men. This is bad. These parasites, they latch on to a cameraman and then render him completely unable to act on his own free will. He starts singing the Skibidi Toilet song and just absolutely wrecking his buddies. And whenever they're unleashed in battle, the other cameramen, they have no idea what to do. They're at a loss. They don't want to kill their friends, do they? No, of course not. Who wants to kill their friends? Don't look that up, and don't go to true crime YouTube right now. Stay right here. While they were making this parasite toilet, it seems like they were also tinkering on their own skibidis, and they made this absolute abomination of a toilet that can hold completely still and then just go at super speeds, knocking the heads off of cameras. And these cameramen were absolutely no match for this guy. They all just watched in horror as their friends got destroyed before being the last one to go. Horrifying. Horrifying. It is the end times now for the cameramen and the speakermen. Titan Speakerman has rolled in, and he's taken out a few guys, okay? He's doing a great job. Until you probably saw where this is going, the Skibidi toilets managed to get a little parasite on him, and they take him over. He has now been lost to the Skibidi Toilet forces. It's unfortunate. Highly unfortunate. He is now shooting down the helicopter speakers on behalf of G-Toilet. While G-Toilet takes this time, he's back on the battlefield, by the way, he's not scared anymore, and he destroys YouTube headquarters, because why not? Skibidi Toilet is destroying YouTube's landscape as we know it, which is not necessarily a bad thing. I find the whole series fun. And he destroys YouTube headquarters, kind of symbolically. I don't know why I do that, but it's funny. I think it's funny. I don't care if you think it's funny or not. If you think it's not funny, hit the dislike button. At this point, there's only one thing that the cameraman and speakerman can do in order to regain control of the situation. Titan Cameraman is still undergoing repairs. We see him, he's getting repaired, a bunch of toilets come in, and he blows them up with a little finger bomb. So he's getting upgraded, but it's gonna take some time. He's not ready for battle yet. And in the meantime, G-Toilet and Titan Speakerman are absolutely wrecking their forces. So they start to devise a plan. They find out the parasites can be removed, okay? And then the Speakerman and the cameraman will regain their consciousness and rejoin their team for all intents and purposes. And they devise an energy weapon that will get this done from a distance, which is amazing. Now, some lives are lost. The saddest, most unfortunate thumbs up you get in the whole series happens during this time. But They do make it out with the weapon. They are able to use it. They dual wield these weapons and release parasites from plenty of speaker and cameramen in battle many times. And they mount this energy weapon to a cannon that they then try and fire at Titan speakermen, but it gets blocked. Speakerman is still under control by the enemy. Very unfortunate. Very bad thing that is going on right now. It's at this point that we see an episode that kind of illustrates something that's been going on up until now, but it's not glaring until this episode. There is a couple of speakermen that have parasites. They're Skibidi speakermen right now, but they're joined with a Skibidi Toilet who has mounted himself onto the corpse of a speakerman. There is a huge amount of disrespect for one another's fallen in this series, and it's amazing. The cameramen are using toilets as thrones to kind of celebrate their victory. The Skibidi Toilets are mounting themselves to speakermen's bodies. I'm not sure which side created the mechanical spider apparatus, but now they both have it. They've been incorporating each other's fallen allies into each other's designs for quite a while now, but this is the episode where it becomes glaring. And when they do get shot by the energy beam that allows the speakermen to become sentient once again, instead of just taking out the toilet and flushing him like they normally would, they knock him down and beat the living shit out of him. This time it's personal. You are using the body of my friend. Earlier in the series too, there's a scene where one of the cameramen are using a camera in his hand, almost like a tonfa, if you know what that is. It's one of these things. This guy in the Dynasty Warriors games uses them. He's using a camera as one of those. Now you might remember the cameras are actually the heads of these guys. So he's using his friend's head as a weapon. And I don't think this is disrespect for his friend so much as it is using a weapon in a dire circumstance, because he pretty immediately gets pinned down and is just barely saved in this situation. So it just kind of illustrates further how brutal this battle really is. It is at this point when the energy weapon is rolled in and fired at Titan Speakerman and blocked by the upgraded version of G Toilet before we're taken out. I said them out of order. It really doesn't matter that much. The important thing is there is an energy weapon and it didn't do what we wanted it to do. The mission failed, essentially. While it helped to turn the tides, it is still heavily favoring the Skibidi Toilets at this point. It's at this point when a new fighter approaches. Now in this next scene, we witness a couple of Skibidi Toilets beating up cameramen. Another personal attack. Instead of outright destroying them like usual, they're just beating them up. The person recording the video that we're watching gets a plunger and makes quick work out of two Skibidi Toilets, but gets pinned down by an upgraded turbo mode toilet guy, whatever. It's at this point when we're saved by the third ally type here, the TV men. A guy with a TV on his head strolls in and emits a light that essentially paralyzes these toilets, allowing ample time for the cameramen to flush them. Huge, huge win for the cameramen. At this point, the TV men, they're the ace in the hole. They are the golden ticket out of this situation here. Basically, what you've got a TV person that can paralyze essentially and let people be flushed. You've got a large TV person with 4 mini TVs around it that could do the same thing but on a bigger scale. And then you've got Titan TV Man, who emits a red light and a THX sound that makes Skibidi Toilets flush themselves. Now YouTube? No. Don't do it. In order to be immune from all this, the cameraman is given a lens filter. Now, unfortunately, the Skibidi Toilets, they get a hold of this lens filter and make sunglasses out of them, but this is rendered pretty much useless. Titan TV Man dons some speakers and uses them to shatter the sunglasses. So, you know, it's kind of a tit for tat thing going on right now. At some point in this story, Titan TV Man, he dons some speaker armor. So he's got a speaker chest piece, he's got speaker shoulders, it's great. So he is invulnerable from incoming laser blasts, and also he can use his speakers to stun the enemies. Fantastic. It also makes his red screen much better. Cool. Badass. And as you can imagine, he is doing everything he can to track down Titan Speakerman and free him, or if nothing else, probably destroy him. Preferably free him, right? Now the toilets know this, and they're using it to their advantage. They're setting a trap for TV Man, and he knows it's a trap, right? I'm sure he knows it's a trap. Anybody would know it's a trap. So he falls for this trap on purpose, and he tries to take out Speakerman, and he's getting mad about it, and he's getting angry. And it doesn't necessarily work. He kind of meets his match. He really injures Speakerman, takes off his speakers with his shoulder claw, but then Gary's mod over here laser beams him, right? Now he's blocking the laser beam with his chest plate up until the point where a flying buzzsaw Skibidi Toilet cuts his shoulders off. His shoulder speakers, he cuts them off. He turns around to get him. Then G-Man Toilet lasers the back of the harness that's keeping the chest plate on. That falls off. And then he starts lasering his weak spot, which is the same as Titan Cameraman's weak spot. It's his chest right in the middle. That's where all the power goes, apparently. They're all Iron Mans. And this isn't good, but Titan TV Man's got a plan. He uses a grappling hook to pull G-Toilet in and uses his red screen of death to try and deliver the final blow. But unfortunately, when G-Toilet is inches from death, it's unfortunate. Titan Speakerman rolls up and does a sucker punch, but instead of a punch, it's a stab. So he sucker stabs Titan TV Man right in the face / screen. Unfortunate. Not good. We don't like that. When this happened, G-Man gets free and he lasers TV Man in the chest. Now with only 2 of his 4 available beams, so maybe his eyes are permanently damaged. Unsure. But Titan TV Man has to flee. So now we've got Titan Cameraman under construction, Titan Speakerman under control of the toilet people, and then Titan TV Man also under construction. Not exactly a great thing. Next couple episodes are pretty bleak. The city looks destroyed. Not good. It's absolute chaos. But a new character arrives nonetheless and really helps out. It's the TV woman, and she's got a head that comes off and launches into the enemy, which is funny. And it destroys them, and she could teleport you away. So she gives the cameraman a big hug, teleports him to a facility where other cameramen are hard at work. And there's a little blueprint on the wall of the Titan Cameraman. He's got a few upgrades. He's got a hammer that's like a super sledge from Fallout. It's got a jet, like a rocket on the end. That's pretty cool. He's got like an enhanced power core that breathes fire onto toilets and really melts them, which is pretty sick. He's got a jetpack jump thing that he can do. That's pretty sweet. And just overall, huge overhaul. And then we see from his point of view, him jumping around and destroying toilets, which is the American dream. The next couple of episodes just go to show that this Titan Cameraman upgrade is a force, an absolute force to be reckoned with. He's got big cannons that fucking blow your brains out. He's just a big old crazy guy. The camera with 2 plungers is still at it. Great to see him up and rocking. He's probably my favorite character at this point. And everybody's doing just great on the cameraman's side. And then the very last episode as of today is one with the previously mentioned blinking crazy toilet, and he's doing his thing, but then the lady TV lady, her head comes off and it spins around really fast and incapacitates that toilet. So it looks like they've got a defense for that as well. which is cool because I forgot all about the guy until today. Now, this series is evolving at a very quick pace. He's putting out episodes really quickly, which makes sense. They're like a minute long at this point. So chances are by the time this is published, there's more stuff what happened. That's good. Now let's talk about some stuff, some theories that I've got, as well as some things I've noticed, because it's a fun thing to talk about. Okay. The first thing I noticed in this series is, where did all the people go? Now, there are only a few people in the series, and they're in the first few episodes. They are watching the giant Skibidi Toilet crush a couple of regular people. They're getting crushed by the giant Skibidi Toilets, and they are eating fecal matter in the restaurant. Also, after this, there is no regular people. There's only cameramen. So I'm wondering, did they turn into the Skibidi Toilets like in that one episode? Did they turn into both the Skibidi Toilets and the cameramen? Are they both recruiting? Like, what's going on here? It doesn't really matter at the end of the day. It is what it is. It's fine. It's cool. But I do think it's funny. I did notice in the comments of a few of these videos that people are saying, oh, the cameramen, they only are recording the last few seconds before they die, because if you notice, in every episode you die at the end. But that's not the case. The cameraman doesn't die in the end of every episode. There's plenty of episodes that end with the cameraman giving the thumbs up to the other guy, getting thumbs up by another guy, giving applause to the Titan cameraman. I don't think that's the case. Obviously, it's not the case. What I do think might be going on is these cameras are recording, they have the ability to record like stuff that's gonna be notable. Like, sometimes you just know when you want to record something, and I think maybe they are just doing it when they want to. So they're like, oh, this is gonna be cool, and they record. And then maybe they also have a feature that's like kind of like police body cameras, you know, like automatically records the last, 60 seconds or whatever before they're decommissioned, or in this case destroyed or something. You do get the frame at the end of that one episode, what looks like the avatar for Da Fuck Boom. So maybe that's what that is, that he's collecting the footage from the cameras to put it on YouTube. I think maybe that's the case. I don't really care. It is what it is. Now, there's also a lot of like people saying that, oh, there's one scientist toilet, right? And there's one toilet on the spidery legs, and there's one cameraman that Fortnite dances, and each one of these characters is its own specific thing. And I think that might be the case for some of them, like the dual plunger cameraman. I think that is one guy, but I think for like the scientist toilets, it doesn't really make sense for there to only be one of him. Also, for like the parasite toilets, there's clearly a ton of those, and I just don't think it makes sense that every class of toilet or cameraman or whatever would have only one guy. I do think there's unique characters that you recognize throughout the series, but I don't think it necessarily is as many unique characters as people seem to think they are, but I could be completely wrong. There's no differentiation for the most part between these guys. So maybe it is just one guy and I'm reading too far into it, but I could be completely wrong. I don't know. I didn't make the shit. I will say that the Skibidi Bop 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 song gets super annoying by like episode 8, but if you endure through all of that, eventually, especially if you're watching the horizontal versions of the videos, it kind of goes away for the most part, and they just start saying skibidi, 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 skibidi. I do notice that the song is a lot more prevalent in still the vertical versions. I don't know why he's not using the same audio for both. Kind of making more work for himself, I think, unless it's like a workflow that he's got, and then he exports the horizontal, then does more stuff, and then exports the vertical. I have no idea. I don't know why it's different audio, but there is different audio for the horizontal and the vertical versions of these later videos, which is fine. There's also a full screen version of the first episode that's got like a cameraman thumbs upping you, and then a different photo in the bathroom. And it's funny because the comments on that one are like, oh, it's cool to see that there was a guy there the whole time. It's like, no, even the photo's different. Like, he wasn't there the whole time. He just redid it and changed some stuff, which is fine. It's not a bad thing, but I do think it's kind of a funny comment, so I like to see that down there. Overall, I did start watching this almost as a joke, and I thought it would be a quick video, but the more I got ready for the video, the more I wanted to do for it. So It's been a minute. Thank you guys so much for being patient. This series is pretty cool. I am kind of disappointed by a couple of content creators that I like to watch because they act like it's dumber than anything that they like, and it's objectively not dumber. Like, it is dumb. Okay, it's a dumb series, but most shit that's fun to watch is super dumb. So maybe don't act like, oh, Gen Z, oh my god, what are they liking? Because it's all the same shit. I do highly recommend that you watch the series, even if you watch this video in full, because it's fun to watch, and there's probably stuff in there that I didn't talk about in this video. All right, thank you so much for watching. Thanks for watching the whole thing. Go ahead and leave a comment if you haven't yet, or like the video. It does help out a lot. Thanks so much. Later. I can't believe I was not recording audio that whole time. Holy shit.